फर्स्ट पार्ट है इसमें
Okay, very good morning to all. Okay, so yes, we have started the next unit, that is unit 6. In that context, that compression we are going on. Okay, in that process, we are finding one method that is called predictive coding, and that is the primary method, I can say. Based on that, we are trying to figure out some basic assumptions, and based on that assumption, we are trying to figure out the particle value in the form of two part. So basically the algorithm is considered two part over there. Okay, so in today's lecture we are trying to cover first part, and in the upcoming session we are going to deal with the next part. Okay, so yes, what we have done over here, so I'm just trying to illustrate the basic thing. Okay, so yes, the algorithm name is already illustrated in the form of, that is PPM, that is predictive with partial match. Okay, predictive with partial match. Okay, so in that case, we have just find out that in this algorithm, we only need to store those contacts that have occur in the sequence being encoded. Okay, what does it mean? So here first, what do you mean by context? I hope everyone is clear. So context is already concerned the scenario why that context is considered as surrounding value to a specific string means if I take one example over here, that for a black and white image, okay, in black and white image there's a matrix, okay, some form of like 720 by 720, and the black and white image is considered in the form of zeros, ones, some zeros, and again ones. Okay, so here black is represented by the 0 and 1 is represented by the white. Okay, like this. So what over here comes, that you can see the prediction over here. If multiple time of 0 come, the next value prediction is based on this previous assumption. Okay, might be the next scenario, next context will be considered in the form of 0 only, because there's a higher chances, higher probability that multiple zeros are there. So next value जो भी आएगी वो भी 0 ही होगी. The same fashion, if I can work out for the 111. So okay, over here you can see the next chances, yeah, mostly it should be 1. I'm not saying 1 times or 2 times, but yes, first अगर occurrence होगा, so that is the number of ones has to be predicted if there's a bunch of ones are there. So this is called context, where we are finding some surrounding value that is based on the previous assumption. Okay, like this way. Okay, if I can make one symbol in assembly language, that is MUL. Okay, in assembly level language, if I'm trying to figure out some mnemonic codes, so over here you can see MUL is there. So what is the meaning of MUL? It is basically considered as a multiplication. multiplication. So how you assume that MUL has been considered one arithmetic operation will be considered in the form of multiplication. Same way for A double D. A double D is represented in the form of addition. So again is the scenario of assumption based on context ADD. We have got the idea the spelling should be like this way. Same way for the multiplication, the spelling should be like this way. Okay, so this is called basically the context based scenario. Yes, over there we have just figured out the thing that if the symbol has not occurred. Okay, so there is a basic 3 steps which we have already listed yesterday. We are just trying to recap those parts. If the symbol is not occurred, if the symbol is okay, if the symbol is not occurred in the context, means it is occurring the first time. On the escape symbol is encountered. One new symbol you need to encounter, that is called escape, that we have already gone through over here. This algorithm attempt to the use of the next smaller context. So always assumption हम यहाँ पे जैसे कर सकते थे, we have in the binary image bunch of zeros are there. So what we are trying to assume, only one zero has to be there, means the context size is very low. Okay, हमें context का जो assumption करना है वो very low phase में करना है, because we can't assume that upcoming सारे values zero होंगे, ये हम predict नहीं कर सकते हैं, but हाँ हम next value को predict कर सकते हैं कि that is all about zero. Okay, so this algorithm attempt to use the next smaller context. जितना small context होगा उतना ही हमारे लिए better होगा. Okay, the next thing. Okay. The next thing, each time a symbol is encountered, count the corresponding. We need to do the counting over here, means how many times that symbol has been occur or reoccur. अगर एक symbol अगर एक से ज़्यादा बार occur हो रहा है same context में या फिर same string में, so at that time we need to put some counter over there and find the count of that variable corresponding to the symbol that update in all the tables. So yes, we need to formulate one table. Based on that, we are trying to rectify the things that how the context has been generated over there. Okay, so this is all about the basic stuff. Let's start with the sum. Okay, the sum is already provided in the book that we are going to solve over here. Okay. So yes, we need to encode the sequence. In exam, the same consideration of the sum will be there in the form of by ppm. So yes, over here you can do which string is provided with you. So that's thi is this, then backspace is again backspace, then again the, and then again backspace. So this is the string which is provided to you to provide the count of using context switching. Okay, so over here what we are trying to do, start the solution. The first we said that assuming that we already encode the initial 7 symbol. Okay, now thing is that we already assuming over here that initially just 7 symbols and like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 they have been already assumed. Okay, yes, in exam again the assumption part is given to you that what thing you need to assume and by using which value you need to get go for one. Okay, so that is the basic scenario. You need to assume something, otherwise assumption is given to you in the exam, and based on that you need to start your procedure of the sum. So over here the assumption is provided in the form of the first 7 letter is already given to you. Okay. Fine. Now the next thing is that now we are performing the PPM method. PPM method is again belonging to context manner. So as I already told you in the second phase, the algorithm over here, the second phase, the algorithmic has the smaller context. The algorithm has the smaller context. So here we can try to assume one more thing, that assume the most high order context will be 2. Okay, so here is the highest order context will be 2. So what does it mean? It will be started from -1 to 2 order. ओके सो दिस इज बेसिकली थिंग कि आपको कंटेक्स्ट ऑर्डर अज्यूम करना है. कंटेक्स्ट का मतलब क्या हुआ? अगेन वी हैव क्लियर कितना सिंबल मैचअप होगा या फिर कितना मैक्सिमम सिंबल हम अज्यूम कर सकते हैं कि वो मैच हो सकता है. सो ओवर हियर यू कैन सी मैक्सिमम 2 सिंबल की हम पॉसिबिलिटी ले सकते हैं या फिर गारंटी ले सकते हैं या प्रिडिक्शन कर सकते हैं कि नेक्स्ट सिंबल क्या होगा. ओके सो दैट्स व्हाई वी नीड टू टुक assumption with the two, like it 2 symbol, the context of the highest order, most highest order. Okay, so that will be 2. Now what does I formulate over here? That is from -1 we need to start, that is my initial value. -1 से मुझे start करके कहाँ तक जाना है? I need to go to the second order which I already predict over here. So this is again fixed out. So the order value will be considered like this way: for -1, then 0, then 1, and 2 orders. I need to generate the tables. Based on that, I need to figure out the context. Okay. Till now, anyone have any question? Is it clear? Okay. Hoping that is clear for you. So let's start with the first order solving. So that is third one. The third step said that count array for -1 order context. Okay, so count for the array for the first order index, that is -1. For that we are making the table which label consider like letters, then count, letters count, and cumulative count. Okay, so at that time we can work it over here. You can see okay, so over here what we are trying to assume, okay, so already visited या already encoded string जो है मेरे पास, उसको मैं अगर workout लेके चलूंगा, because I need to work out with that manner only, that is THIS backspace is this. Okay, so over here you can see that which string we have just trying to figure out over here. So that is this space and is. So I can just write down over here, that is THIS B space is. Okay, so my first letter is what? The first letter is already considered that T, so I need to put over here T. Okay, okay, so T is there. Then how many times this T's occur in the sequence? Only one time. And cumulative count is again the summation of none. So 1 plus none is become 1 over here. Okay, so like this way I need to put my very first table. Letters T is equal to there, count uska kitna hai wo, and then cumulative count has to be generated over here in the form of 1. The next thing is that I can put the next letter H. H is equal to in the form of count 1. Why? Because again there is no H occurrence over here, and H equal to consider the count 1, and based on that, if I can figure out the cumulative count, the 1 plus 1, that will become 2. सो यहाँ पे ये 2 कंसिडर करेगा. देन नेक्स्ट अगेन आई विल टेक अबाउट द नेक्स्ट सिंबल दैट इज आई. आई इज नॉट okay. I is already occur over there in which sequence? So over here you can see I is there. So I can be considered over here in such a manner.
Minus one order. And cumulative count is 1 plus 1, 1 plus 1. After H, the next letter is I. I. Count as 1.
Okay, so the next letter is what? Next letter is my I. So I can consider I over here. The count is 1. Right now, till now, I have assumed कि भाई यहाँ तक अगर मैंने जिसको context switching किया है, तो मेरे कितने context generate हुए हैं order -1 के लिए, I के लिए only 1. So at that time, I can go with I plus 1 plus 2. That will give me the cumulative count 3. Okay. The same manner, I can just work out with the next symbol, that is S. Over here, you can see again one symbol, then the cumulative count is 4. Same way for backspace. Okay, same way for backspace. But ultimately, what I'm trying to do, we are creating one initial dictionary or initial table. Based on that, we are trying to figure out the others context based manner. So over here, you can see base space. So I can take base space for a special character because it is a one special character space है. ठीक है, तो उसे हम स्पेशल कैरेक्टर के फॉर्म में यहाँ प्रिडिक्ट करेंगे, दैट इज बी स्पेस. Why I'm writing aside over here? Because some more symbol can be come after this. So that is, I can just predict over here. The B space. Okay. So I can see in this string, B space is there. Yes, I can occur over here. How many times? So again, it is for one time. So I can just go through it for one time. Okay. So at that time, I can consider over here. Okay, so over here you can see B spaces occur one time, and you can say symbol, special symbol occur one time, and then the count is 5. Apart from that, I is already occur. ठीक है, B space तक हमने workout कर लिया. I is already occur, so yes, we are not considering that one. S is again occur, backspace is already occur, T is already occur, and H is already occur. So इतने symbols हम already यहाँ पे workout कर चुके हैं. Now the E is not occur any one of the time. So at that time, we can include E over here. We can include E over here with the count 1. And yes, we are going to cumulative count is 6. Now over here, you can see why we are neglecting all this, because they are already, we have considered, hence we can neglect them. And one special character has been occurred over here. That is my space B. Okay. और आई कैन से बैकस्पेस. तो स्पेशल कैरेक्टर बैकस्पेस यहाँ पे जो जनरेट हुआ है, उसका ऑर्डर मुझे चेंज करना पड़ेगा, बिकॉज दैट हैज टू बी कम एट द लास्ट. वो हमेशा लास्ट में आना चाहिए. ठीक है, सो दैट शुड बी, आई नीड टू रीशफल ओवर हियर. सो आई कैन मेक वन न्यू टेबल, दैट इज अगेन लेटर with the count, with cumulative count, and 1 2 2 3 4 5 6. Okay. Okay, so 1 2 3 4 5 6. So over here T H I S 1 1 1 and 1. It is 1 2 3 4. Now E has to be there. You can see, guys, I need to do the shuffle over here, these two things, because special character is always come at the end. Okay, so like there is a no change, and yes, simply you need to write down like this way. Okay, at the end you need to find out the total count. So what is the total count over here? This is my count value. So yes, total count will be 6. Total count will be 6. So like this way, I need to end up for my minus 1 order context. Count the array for minus 1 order context. Okay. Okay, I'm just waiting for a 2 second. Anyone have any question, anything to be asked?
Now we prepare second table. Count array. After one, we have to prepare zero order. The minus one order table. We take letters at only one time. Those letters which appears in the sequence. Now next we prepare table. My first table. Now we prepare second table. Count array. After one, we have to prepare zero order. Count array. It means that we have already encoded. For the same. So the first letter that appears in this, that is. Now see, for this whole sequence, E comes only one time, one order and two order. Two order context. So for preparing a table, we do not assume this whole sequence. Consider the assumption sequence that we already encoded with 7 symbols, T, H, I, S, P space, I. So how we prepare the minus one order table? In my whole sequence, the letters which is appearing in my whole sequence.
Yes, any question, guys?
One. After P space, so this is in this also we take letters already encoded. The same. So the first is I, but in this sequence I appears two times. 1, 2. So count this 2. That we already considered. So this is how. But there is one more important point for while preparing the zero order context.
No?
After,
Okay, let's start with the next session.
from the already given letter, already encoded letters.
Count array.
One more symbol that is
First,
symbol,
zero order
1,
context.
and the total count is 8. The total count is 8.
Okay, so over here you can see we are now to deal with the next order, that is zero order context. Count the array for the zero order. Now here we are trying to consider the new or already encoded string, which is the same fashion. That is okay. So I can make some labels because I need to again generate the table. So first later is there, and same thing count, and then cumulative counts. Okay. Okay. So over here you can see for this particular context, zero order के लिए मुझे कौन सा string cover up करना पड़ेगा? I need to use this assumption. I need to use this assumption string. ठीक है? Initially जो मैंने ये table बनाया था वो किसके बेस पे बनाया था? Which is my given the original string. और जब already context मेरे पास available है जिसको मैंने assume किया है, that I am trying to figure out over here. So I can mention over here a string that is T H I S B space I S. So this is my string which I am going to figure out in this context, that is zero order context. Okay, so over here I can take my first letter. First letter is T. So yes, T is already there first time. So I can use T. The count is 1 and the cumulative count is again 1 because there is a none. The 1 plus 0 that will give you 1. Now next symbol अगर मैं workout करूं, so that is my H. H is not occurring. T भी नहीं occur हो रहा था, H भी एक ही बार occur हो रहा है इस पूरे context में. So I can just use H for the one count. Sorry. And the cumulative count, it will be addition of these two will give you the next 2 count. Okay, the same fashion. If I can work out with the next symbol मेरा क्या है यहाँ पे I. Next symbol मेरा यहाँ पे क्या है I. So I is occur, yes, I is occur 2 times over here. You can see. So if I take the next symbol I, और I यहाँ पे कितनी बार occur हुआ है 1, and over here you can see 2 times. So yes, I can mention the number of count here too. Okay guys, तो यहाँ पे ये count increase हुआ है. अभी तक हम इसको 1 ही assume करके चल रहे थे because we are preparing our initial dictionary, or you can say initially table, and the same fashion we can consider so it is considered in the same fashion, that is I equal to 2, and the cumulative count will be 4. The cumulative count will be 4. Why? Because 2 plus 2, it will give you the next symbol 4. Okay, now the next symbol, if I'm taking away, that is S. So here S, I have take again, if I can just work out with the S is again occur with the 2 times. So okay, so S again यहाँ पे 2 बार occur हो रहा है. So what can I do? I can put the count 2 and the cumulative sum, that will give you 6. Same way for the next symbol is backspace. The backspace is occur only a one time, and cumulative sum is represent 7. Now over here, what we are trying to do, as the sum illustrate, if the symbol is not occur in the context, an escape symbol is encounter. Okay, so कौन सा symbol यहाँ पे encounter होगा, because the symbol is not considered in the form of a new encoded symbol. Hence we are trying to encode, we are trying to focus one more symbol, that is called escape symbol, sorry. तो यहाँ पे escape symbol generate होगा in zero order context. In zero order context, you are trying to figure out the value, and based on that, the escape sequence value can be figured out, and it will be considered as a one special symbol in the fashion count as 1. Okay, इसका count भी कितना हो जाएगा 1, and the total cumulative count will be occur 8, and hence I can just go through it. The total count will be become 8 over here. The total count will become 8 over here. Okay, so yes, till now I have just gone through it because it is all about zero order context, that count the array for the zero order. Like this way we can figure out. So in -1 order, we are not going to figure out a new symbol in the form of escape, but yes, in zero order we are trying to go through one more new symbol that is considered as a escape symbol. Okay, fine. Now just try for the next step. Okay, next step, if I'm just going through it, अब यहाँ पे हम स्पेसिफिक कंटेक्स्ट मैनर ऑर्डर में वर्कआउट करने जाएंगे. कैसे? सो हियर यू कैन सी काउंट एरे फॉर वन ऑर्डर context. Count the array for one order context. So now we can focus one new table, making one new context order fashion. Okay, give me a second. My mobile is hang. Okay, give me a second. Really sorry for the interruption. Yes, we are at the stage of count the array for the zero order. Okay, हम zero order के लिए workout कर रहे थे. Then we have just got the count, that is 8. Okay, at that time we are now just focused to the next scenario, that is all about the first order. Okay, for first order, what we are trying to do, we are generating the context actually. So here in our new label can be formed in the table, that is first is context, then the letter, then count, and then cumulative count. Okay, I hope you are getting that in order 1 we need to add one new label, that is called context. Context को यहाँ पे add up करना पड़ेगा, and Okay, quickly start with the fashion where context, letter, and count, then cumulative count. So over here you can see what we need to figure out over here. The same string I can just use over here. That is THISP space IS. In this string, I need to cover the context. What is my context over here and what is my letter over here? T is considered my context, which will be preceded by H. T is considered my context, which is preceded by H. So in my first column, the value should be T, and the next letter will be H. Okay. Now proceed this thing that T context with the fashion of 1 has been generated how many times? It has been generated only 1 times. Okay.
There, that means first let me come here is T. But the first order context is TH. These two letters. For the letter after T, H appears.
So ultimately here H appears before T. Okay. So in this sequence, what we are trying to find out T ke baad H, that how many times that the consideration of the H will be come up before the tree, that is called as a 1 times only. Okay. So before H, how many times this sequence has been come, that will be considered only 1 times. So TH ka jo symbol sequence hai, that here T and H, this is come how many times, that we need to rectify. So it is in the whole sequence come only 1 time. The same way the commutative sequence will become 1. Okay. जैसा ही मेरा first context switching generate होता है, I need to edit one new symbol, that is escape symbol. Okay, because यहाँ पे एक नया context generate हुआ है. कौन सा context generate हुआ है? TH. So hence I need to go with the new symbol, the number of count of the occurrence, that is 1, and how many times it will be occur for the cumulative, that is 2. So over here I can end it that my first context order generate is TH with the total count 2. That's it. Okay. Same way, if I can work out with the next symbol, और next मेरा symbol start वापस से H से ही होगा. So next my context symbol will be H and I. So in here my context will become H and my new letter will become I. So in how many times I is followed by H in the given sequence? I कितनी बार followed हुआ है in the given sequence? So hence I can say it is only again 1 times. Yes, I can go for the 1 and cumulative count is again 1. Okay, that each and every symbol I can figure out one new symbol because new context has been generated. इसलिए मुझे यहाँ पे एक escape sequence add करना पड़ेगा with the count 1 and cumulative count 2. After that, again figure out the total count. So yes, over here the total count will become again 2. Total count is again become 2. Let's rectify the next thing. That is again we can start from I to S. So yes, my context will become I and my letter which is followed by I is S. Okay. Now yes, can anyone tell me I S followed by S how many times has been occurred in the given this sequence? जिसका initial letter I है and then it will be started from S. So how many times this context has been occurred in this given sequence? Yes, can anyone tell me? Okay, I'll just try to help you out, guys. Here you can see IS and here again you can say IS. Okay, so IS context itself occurred 2 times. The count is 2 times and the cumulative count will become again 0 plus 2, that is 2. After generating the new symbol, why IS has been considered as a 2 times? Because IS has been come over here, which is again followed by IS over here, where S is followed by I. The context has been repeated 2 times. इसलिए मुझे यहाँ पे 2 लिखना पड़ेगा and then cumulative count will be 2. Again, a new sequence has been generated, so hence it is escape sequence. 1 times the cumulative will be 3 because 1 plus 2, that will give you 3. Okay. Okay, just figure out the one new count, one new total count over here. The total count will become here 3. 1 plus 2, 3. Okay. The same fashion we can go further. So again we can start from this S. तो S से हम next में जाते हैं, तो मेरा next context बन जाएगा S, which is followed by backspace. As backspace कितनी बार occur हो रहा है, तो it is only 1 times. Cumulative is again 1 times, making one escape sequence with 1 times, and count will be 2. So cumulative count will be 2 over here. So it is all about cumulative count, which is 2. The last, if we can figure out, that is backspace and I, not that, second last, sorry. So it should be backspace, then I. I hope it is occur again only 1 times. So here it is again 1 time. Okay, so over here you can see 1 1, count is again 1, and that is 2. The total count will be considered as 2. Okay, over here I can make one new consideration. Why? Because the last symbol has been rectified over here, that is I and S. But IS is already occurred in our sequence. Last symbol जहाँ पे rectify हो रहा था, that is B space I के बाद S था. So B space I we have already considered over here, and the next symbol is IS, but IS is already we have counted over here. Hence we will stop over here, and this is our count array. This is our count array order 1 index. This is our count array order 1 index. In the similar fashion, we can find out the last order, that is count array for 2 order context. Okay, I hope you got the idea. 2 order context में हम maximum कितनी value consider करेंगे? 2. That will be formed out over here. The same thing. So again, I can make. Okay, so over here again we can make new table in the form of so we can make the context, then letter, then count, cumulative count. Okay, so again we can took the same string with the order of 2. With the order of 2, we can take the same string. So I can take that string on that side over here. That is my THIS backspace IS. Okay, so over here you can see I need to take the 2 order context. So I need to take first 2 letters. जिसका letter context क्या होगा? I. So that is in the form of TH, that is my context, and the preceding with I. So this is the 2 order scenario where I can take away TH, but TH हम pair बनाएंगे जो मेरा context हो जाएगा, जो followed करेगा I को. But how many times TH is followed by I in the string is only 1 time, and cumulative count will be 1. Same thing. Okay, I just made some wrong. Okay. फाइन द नेक्स्ट सिंबल बट ऑब्वियसली हमने हर बार वर्कआउट किया था कि जब भी नया कंटेक्स्ट जनरेट होगा तो नया एस्केप सीक्वेंस एस्केप सिंबल जनरेट होगा so that is count is 1 and cumulative count will become 2 so here we can end up this part and yes what is my total count so here total count will be 2 okay so we can end up that part now again we can make the new formulation this is hi next जो मेरा context होगा वो किस फॉर्म में होगा so that is hi which is followed by s okay so hi कितनी बार repeat हो रहा है with the followed by s so again we can consider
Take another one.
so hi is repeated only one times again cumulative count is 1 make the escape sequence so escape sequence is only one times it is 2 so here total count will become 2 okay the next symbol अगर मैं वर्कआउट करूँ तो is so yes it is is which is followed by b space so it is again one times is followed by bs कहीं नहीं है it is for one times make the escape symbol one times cumulative 2 make the total count that is 2 okay is के बाद अगर मैं वर्कआउट करने जाऊँ फॉलोड बाय तो s b space which is followed by I count 1 again 1 make the escape sequence that is again 1 count is 2 total count it's 2 okay next context अगर मैं वर्कआउट करने जाऊँ s b space I followed by s so b space I अभी तक मैंने नहीं लिया है yes we can make the count 1 this cumulative count 1 and make the escape sequence over here with 1 and cumulative count is 2 cumulative count is 2 okay so yes my total count over here again 2 okay so I can stop over here because my all the string has been covered up मैंने सारे string के context बना दिए हैं और order 2 ठीक है because I have take this way टू ऑर्डर के सारे context मैंने यहाँ जनरेट कर दिए हैं b space I is my last because उसके बाद वो फॉलोड कर रहा था s को so hence I can consider over here till now I have generated the order of 2 okay then after I need to figure out some of the limits okay इसके बाद जो मुझे okay इसके बाद मुझे लिमिट फिगर आउट करनी है किस फैशन में so I can just write down that formula for your reference purpose that is L to the power n minus 1 plus u power n minus 1 minus L to the power n minus 1 plus 1 okay sorry and multiply cumulative count bracket xn minus 1 upon total count